Kuna letter fulani na go round, letter inasemekana ni from Safaricom, so nimeamua ni kill two birds with one stone. So before tufanya hivi ndio msea siseme ati budo unapenda ku criticize Safaricom. Cheki, mtu miaga Safaricom home fiber. So now wacha tukuje tu letter. So Safaricom wameandika letter fulani hapa tuoni licensing of satellite service providers in Kenya. Alafu ikakuwa Safaricom kindly request the Communications Authority of Kenya to carefully assess the risks of granting independent licenses to satellite providers and consequent harm it may cause to Kenya. So basically, to break down hii story, ini letter Safaricom waliandika on the 5th of July. Email leak, I'd say around 7 weeks later. And basically kile wanasema ni wako wanatrai wase kama Starlink kuingia into the Kenyan market. So nikamwa wacha ni kill two birds with one stone, ni unbox these speakers. Also talk about Safaricom internet. So Safaricom kona shindo ni speaker gani? Hii speaker ni Clips 120 SW. Ni subwoofer. Vile nimekuwa nikisema subwoofer yangu aga ndogo inakuwa 8 inch. Hii subwoofer ni 12 inch. So I'm hoping that this will be able to solve story yangu ya bass could distort when I'm watching movies. But now kitu moja ile technology imedu ni technology imetuonyesha vile monopolies are dangerous. So hapa Kenya, it's one of the few countries in the world where we have a monopoly running basically communication, where Safaricom is basically what 90% of Kenyans use. I'd even go as far as saying like all Kenyans use it, and then they have the other numbers as backup. Because that I'm saying mimi, Safaricom is my primary line, and then I have Airtel. But even on a personal level, I don't call using Safaricom, and I don't. The only time I use Safaricom internet is in the house. And if you were to look at that history of Safaricom internet, you'd see Safaricom charges 6200 for 40 MB. Saizi Starlink wameingia, they give you speeds of up to 200 MB and they're charging 6500. Hii letter Safaricom kile wanataka kusema ni they want now wako kiongea na Starlink inawapatia license and they themselves start distributing Starlink dishes. Do you think if that happens kutakuwa na hizi vitu za Starlink za like 70% off on hardware? That will never happen, because you can look at Safaricom and see like they've been in the market home internet for close to how many years, and the prices have not changed. Like technology gets cheaper with time. Safaricom home has not gotten cheaper with time. So for them to even think that tutakubali history yao ya kunini ya kuregulate history ya kuregulate internet, because if they become the middleman, what's going to stop them from all these exorbitant prices? Because what's going to happen is the more that people connect to Starlink, the higher Starlink speeds will go up. Inasemekana Starlink speeds might reach 500 MB. If they reach 500 MB and we are paying 6500, then Safaricom is charging us 40 MB for 6200. What's going to happen? Safaricom will have to increase the speeds and also reduce prices, and that's what they are afraid of. So that's why so tukiendelea nikirudi back to whatever this is. So this is as I said, a 12-inch subwoofer. So it's been a good week when it comes to electronics. It's been a good week for me, but this is something I've really waited for. It delayed because this one was bought during Amazon Prime. It's close to 3 weeks ago. So of course this is an American plug, but as much as it's an American plug, the speaker itself is 110 to 240, or at least that's what I'm assuming. So you can see Clips subwoofer. It's time to pull this. Remember vile niliambiwa you're supposed to use your knees. So this is on top of a table. Is there a way for me to use my knees? I don't know. There's a way to still use my knees. Yeah. So yes. So this is a subwoofer, and I want to unveil it. So if this does not give me the bass that I deserve, not the bass that I want, the base that I deserve, I'm going to be pissed. And I'm going to be pissed as I've been the one person who's been very consistent with calling out Safaricom. Nakunga nikibonga jia, even paying for stuff, Safaricom always overcharges you. Like if you're gonna try to buy kitu and you're using your credit card and you use the Safaricom Global Pay, they'll always overpay or overcharge you. Starlink itself, Starlink inacharging 6,500. If you pay for Starlink through Safaricom, they charge 6,700. Are these the people we want to be between us and Starlink? That's something hatutaki. But as I said, I'm still unboxing. So as you can see, I can come close. Let me see if this light will help. This is 100 to 240. And it's a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one. And also, if it comes to the aesthetics, looks beautiful. Looks beautiful, but that's not what we want with this. Of course, we want it to sound as beautiful as it looks. So, been really looking forward to it. My number one song in the Kwagani Jay-Z. It was all good just a week ago. I'm thinking of that, but in the meantime, as I continue, so as I was saying, you remember kulikuwa na hii trip. There's this trip that happened, and the trip was watu walishia Masaiza States. Tulishia na the president. Of course, my trip was not paid for by the taxpayer, but I remember, like, when I was analyzing the trip, there's something that I said. I said that, according to me, all that trip would have been avoided if people just sat down with Peter Ndegwa and told him we needed cheaper internet, because Peter Ndegwa was at that place. The reason why I'm not talking about maybe Airtel, because Peter Ndegwa was there. And also another thing is Airtel has never been the dominant service provider hapa Kenya. Because try and imagine a situation where Airtel and Safaricom were 50-50. Things would be very different. Internet would be cheaper and such stuff. But sasa, we've ended up in this situation that we have. So, now I need to move this speaker. So I want to show you the speaker that this one is replacing. So, in the meantime, mweza kuwa mnaiangalia. Angalia hii speaker kabla nilete hiyo ingine. Nikuonyesha what it's replacing. Still replacing a clip, and this clip is 8 inches, and I just don't like the bass. I feel like the bass is too soft, and when it's not too soft, it's too distorted. So that's the reason why it's time for the little brother to be replaced by the big brother. And I guess come to speakers, I want to see if speakers use the same philosophy as girls, because girls say that size matters. So, okay, watch that one. That's the difference in size. So, wow, this is super small. Like if you have to look at the difference in size, this is small. Then this box is big. First to show you this, they're next to each other. So this is longer, it's whatever, it's even material wise. Okay, but they sound the same. But yeah, let me see what this has to offer. So I want to see this, and then I'll take it on a test run. I'll use, I think instead of Jay-Z nitatumia Raha. Raha ni ngoma ya HFSKE, and featuring Polaris, Mudhoni Drama Queen na Mayonde. Hiyo ngoma waga na bassline moja kali sana. So I want to test that out and see what we have here, and then I'll let you know. But as I was saying, we all need to be like anti easy stories. If this one comes into the market, because don't be surprised that when Safaricom starts fighting this, wanaenda kusema stories are even, they even maybe bring up pornography and start saying that Starlink won't regulate pornography and what. si utumiaga Safaricom kuingia kwa pornography, so they should not use that as an excuse. Plus, as long as someone is an adult, they should be able to access whatever they want to access. There should not be regulation. Kenya is a secular state, but history of Safaricom and that letter is just depressing. And as I keep saying, like, this thing was so simple. We did not need to go to Atlanta. Okay, I needed to do my trip, but that was not Nini. But we did not need to do all that nonsense. So I'll be on the lookout. Nicheki what Safaricom is saying. But in the meantime, nimekufanya this quick unboxing of this big boy. And a big shout out to msee anaitwa Natal. Natal akiwa Masaiza, Colorado. Niliona what clip she was doing in his house and I was like, yes, I have to get a clip. Nimekuwa nikidebate sana. Should have gotten the clips nikiwa States. Alafu nibaki nimeiseti kwa luggage. I'll try and see if this one can fit in the luggage, and then you pay the extra $100. I'll try and see if that can fit. But in the meantime, wacha nibaki nimehook this big brother up, and then after hooking it up, later I'll let you know if it thumbs. Kama hiyo base iko nene.